Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Olivet City Council meeting for October 12th, 2021. It is 7 p.m. and our meeting is about to start. If we could please have our roll call.
Councilmember Carl,
Here.
Councilmember Waldman,
Here.
Councilmember Springer,
Here.
Chairman Weil. Here. Mayor,
Here.
item number 2, Mayor Communications. We did receive a letter from the Gasconade County Sheriff's Office thanking the Olivet Police Department for the donation of 2 Stalker dual radar units. Item number 3 is the city manager's report. Thank you. It's slow today. Thanks. Okay, here we are. Thank you. All right, well, welcome this evening. And again, okay, here we are. We had Olivet Night Out last week. It was, oh, I'm sorry, approximately, we're going back to Roman numerals. We had approximately 20 subdivisions participate. And it was actually, it was a big hit, and as usual, the fire trucks made the show. Residents really enjoyed the cooler weather, but not the 7 p.m. sunset. That was kind of the feedback we heard. And so we'll be looking maybe for some dates in September for the 2022 night out. Urban Night Skies Place on October 3rd, Stacy Park received certification as an urban night sky place for the International Dark Sky Association. We are the world's 4th such place, and very much kudos to the Park and Rec Director Beverly Tucker Knight and the many volunteers who helped with that application process. It was no small feat. They worked on it, and there were a lot of things they had to do. And what are we gonna do with that? Well, we're gonna start hosting stargazing and types of events. And we're going to really look at, I think we're gonna have the parks open certain days of the week up until 11 p.m. so that people can come, people with astronomy interest can come and look. So that's one of the things, that's the small step we're going to start with. Construction around town, it's like springtime. Things are just popping up out of the ground here. These are some pictures of the Oliver as they're now starting all their coverings. It's just kind of an incredible, that's as high as it's going to get. I've been asked, so and it's really exciting, and you're starting to see what what they had presented as their design, and you're starting to see that come to life. Same is true with the Plant Haven. That's funny. There it is. Okay. You can see where that's coming as well. You can see, that it's starting to take shape, and that's a really interesting building. It's going to look great. And it really seemed that when they started working, they just took off. While not out of the ground yet, at Olive Crossing, it's getting more and more exciting as more and more deliveries come with all the work that has to be done. Ameren's been there for a few weeks now, and they'll continue as they're kind of burying those high voltage lines. Once that's done, they'll be starting with some of the MSD work. They actually are starting already with some of the MSD work that's required for around the detention basin and such. And so that's very exciting. We also have the Firestone, and we just have had trouble getting a really good angle for a photo of that, unfortunately, but I'll try for that for the next meeting. Park improvements, speaking of projects and things working, moving ahead, we have, as the council is aware, with the Warson Park and with the community center, we have signed a contract with Wright Construction. They will be starting, they had received their notice to proceed. And they will be out, we're gonna start seeing them out in Morrison Park. Probably this week still is what I would imagine. And as that project moves forward, we continue to work on the other parks. As you know, they're kind of they're at design development. We're finishing up design development to go to construction design. And that will then lead us to being able to let for construction bids for the 5 parks, hopefully in January. One of the things that the council looked at their last meeting, a work session, was some of the playground equipment. And so it's just kind of fun to see what's going to be happening in the various parks and to see the equipment, the new equipment that's going to be coming. We've got a nice assortment of things from kind of the nature play type to some of the more kind of artistic looking products, as well as some water play areas. We have the center photo is Indian Meadows Park, and that's a whole new playground they're making. And I love how, you know, they're really designing it in such a cool way and building some hills and things. So it's very exciting to see this work continue to move forward. Boo Bash Harvest Festival this Friday, October 15th. Activities start at 6 p.m. It is at Stacy Park. So that might be just to make sure people remember that. We're going to have a petting zoo, a spooky trail tours or not so spooky trail tours, depending on who's on the tour with you, I guess. Hay rides, a costume contest. I know that some of the judges are sitting to my left. And so that'll be a fun time. Pumpkin painting and a lot more. It's free entry, but there is a charge for food and drinks and those types of things. Coffee with Mayor, October 20th. We will have a special guest, Shannon Koenig, the Executive Director of the St. Louis County Housing Authority. She is the she's still the new Executive Director. She is an absolutely very interesting person, where she came from working with the CDBG funding, those types of things, her outlook on housing. And as you know, Olivet does have its own housing authority, and that meets quarterly. And so it's going to be, I think it's going to be a really interesting discussion, particularly as housing becomes more and more of a topic of discussion. And as we're seeing more people having trouble making rent and those and mortgages and those types of things. So it'll be a great conversation. It will be via Zoom and in person. Turkey trot, turkey trot, turkey trot. Woohoo! It'll be Thursday, November 25th. And do we want to? Okay, will you do it? Oh, okay. And we've got the shirts.
This is our shirt.
Very excited.
So this is our new shirt for this year. Nice. It says, "We run to give." So this is our new shirt. Our sponsors this year are Dobbs, Barnes Jewish West County, Ridge House Capital, Murphy, and Style, stlstyle.com. So we redesigned the logo a little bit. It's kind of more funky on blue. It's pretty cool. I love the fact that it's like a road going through Olivet and he's running on it, and you know, they did a really good job. So
That's right. And
Yeah.
again, this is a, she had to turn it around to say all of it, turkey trot though. So we have a lot of different ways people can participate. We have the traditional Thanksgiving Day 5K, in-person 5K. This year, new on Thanksgiving Day, we're going to have a kids fun run. You can't beat the price, $0. And then we have a lot of virtual events for folks who maybe aren't comfortable coming out on Thanksgiving Day, but still want to participate. We have a 5K virtual, a 10K virtual, a virtual half marathon, And then we've continued with the 2 cycling events. So again, these virtual events started last year due to the pandemic. And we've decided just to keep them in, and maybe maybe this was our new normal. We don't know. I'm just gonna come up with the upcoming events. I'm just gonna try to get them all up. Is it again? Oh, I had them all up. Oh, sorry about that. Let's go from here. Zoning Board of Adjustment is October 14th at 7 p.m. Boo Bash Harvest Festival is October 15th, 6 to 9 p.m. We're slowly trying to change the name of that. It's like when you get an adopted dog and you try to change their name, and you call them by their old name, and then you start adding their new name, and then eventually just move to so we're slowly moving to Harvest Festival. Coffee with the Mayor, October 20th at 8:45 a.m. Park and Recreation Commission, October 20th, 7 p.m. Planning and Community Design Commission, October 21st, 7 p.m. And the next regular scheduled city council meeting is October 26th at 7 p.m. Happy to answer any questions that you might have. Oops. Do that. And if none, I think we are ready to move forward.
Item number 4, city council reports.
Do any of the council have any reports they would like to give at this time?
I do not.
I do not.
I attended on Wednesday, September 30th, I believe it was, hold on. September 29th. I attended on Wednesday, September 9th, a special meeting for the Parks and Recreation Commission, a meeting to discuss the pavilion selections for Stacy Park. They unanimously agreed upon one, that they made a recommendation to the council on, and council has questions on that one design, and we're waiting to hear back. We also looked at the play equipment, and Barb stole some of my thunder. As she showed some pictures of, we looked at all the parks and talked about all the different exciting changes that are going to be made. So it was a great meeting, and we have a wonderful commission. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Yes, I do. Excuse me, the St. Louis City Planning and Community Design Commission met on October 7th. And under old business, there was conversation about the new Birdie Lane subdivision. And part of that conversation I want to put on the record is that there is still a traffic mitigation plan needed for this development. And the city planner, Mr. Trejo, will be working with the developer with regards to this traffic mitigation plan. They did provide a revised design to PCDC, which got this first home approved 6-0. The feedback I got was that their first offer was as if they didn't care about what it looked like and the fact that it needed to have some more spunk rather than just a simple plain house. That's what I heard back after I came back from vacation. So they did come back with a very nice revised plan and got their approval for the very first home within the Birdie Lane subdivision. In addition, there were discussion items held in discussion with the Planning and Community Design Commission. There was a discussion with regard to the site coverage for pools, particularly when you're looking at smaller lots that would be impacted by the percentage of runoff. There was a brief discussion about the private recreational improvements, short-term rentals, bed and bath, whatever they're called, Airbnbs and things like that. Yeah, well, you know, yeah. Forgive me, I went to the Poconos and it was fun, so I'm still kind of over there. The discussion also was with regard to the stream buffer ordinance and the fact that we have a little bit different type of a stream buffer ordinance than some of the other communities. and looking at scaling back that additional, I believe, 25-foot buffer that some of the other communities do not do, and sometimes it impacts the ability for homes to be built on those lots that end up being in some of those stream buffer areas that we have within the city. Mr. Trejo, I had asked you a question and I don't remember what it was. You didn't get your voicemails today, so forgive me. There was a topic that the Planning and Community Design Commission were asked about, and they asked for that to come back to the council as a workshop item. Do you remember what that was, Mr. Trejo? Oh, right. Okay, that's right. Okay, so thank you. And that was what I had on my next page, but I didn't want to give things up. So the current owners of the Amico station that is at Old Bottom and Olive Road, they're asking the city to amend our special use permit regulations for commercial development. As PCDC is a recommending body on this matter to the city council. And this is a conversation with regards to a very small lot, non-conforming lot, where Mr. Trejo had asked, what is the value of the small lot and how do we improve this lot is really the question. The owner wants to change the special use permit to allow retail with a 600 square foot approval. And the Planning and Zoning Commission really wanted this to come back to a workshop for the council to see how the council felt before they went any further in this dialogue and conversation. And Mr. Trejo, if I have anything inaccurate on that, please clarify. And that is my report. Thank you.
Thank you very much. At this time, we'd like to see if there's anyone in the audience that'd like to make a statement. And if you would, please state your name and address.
Okay, I want to talk about the Opus project. And I'd come to the council and talk to you about banning construction traffic on Hilltop. And I'd also brought it up before PCDC to make it part of their actual development agreement. They didn't seem to think it was necessary, but tonight I'd like to ask you to formally add into the traffic code the banning of that construction traffic during construction with some hefty fines that go along with it. So we have a way to enforce that. I mean, the developer can say all day long that they're not going to do it, but unless there's a way to really enforce it, that'll really hurt them and they'll have to follow it. That I think it would be a good idea to add that to the traffic code where the police department can enforce that and keep us, try and get us a little more peace and quiet over what's going to go on. But we're really surrounded by noise now between the Olive Crossing across the street, the University City project, and now with the replacing all the water lines up in Arrowhead Park, it's constant trucks up and down the street all day long. So I think we can try and at least get the Opus traffic off the Hilltop. It would be a big help to us there. That's all I have. Thank you.
Is there anyone else? Seeing none, let's move forward.
Item number 6, bill number 2961, an ordinance amending ordinance number 2723 in reference to the adoption of a certain salary schedule. Second reading.
Okay. Open that up. As we discussed at the first reading, this is an amendment. It adjusts actually the salary schedule, but it actually has more to do with the positions with regard to amending the secretary position, making it secretary/deputy city clerk, and changing the communications manager from communications manager city clerk to communications manager/deputy city clerk. As I stated before, I think this would allow us to split some of those tasks in a more appropriate manner. And there would not be an impact on the actual salary scale. With that, I'm happy to answer any questions that you might have.
I'd like to make a motion to approve Bill number 2961 and ordinance amending ordinance 2723 in reference to the adoption of a certain salary schedule.
I'll second that.
Are there any questions or discussions? Seeing none.
Yes.
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 Item number 7 is consideration of bids to construct trail at 1190 Dealman Road.
Good evening, Mayor, council members, everyone. Nice to see you this evening. Bruce McGregor, Public Works Director. We've been talking about the Great Rivers Greenway for quite a while, and the crossing through the north side of town. And a few years ago, we started planning our own connection to the north of the city center to ultimately connect where the Great Rivers Greenway will intersect with Dealman Road. And a couple things, I don't know whether if everybody's fresh for where the project is or the locations, if you wanted to open up the maps, or if anybody needs more detail on that, I'd be glad to review that, walk you through it. Right now, we're talking about predominantly the parcel of 1190, which is due north of the fire station. It's the long, narrow strip. And what we're looking to do is build the concrete curb ramps at the terminal ends and the asphalt trail in between. One thing to note about this is that this is going to be more in tune with the Great Rivers Greenway trail design at 12 foot in width, and their preferred width is actually 14 feet. Our existing community trail on the water right away is 10 feet or thereabouts, so it's a little bit narrower. It's my vision that ultimately this is really going to start bringing, get a lot of use from our residents going back and forth to get to the Centennial Greenway and to bring people into town to explore all our new amenities. So we released the bid in 2 pieces, one for the concrete work and one for the asphalt work. And the idea was that that might attract some more bidders because not all concrete contractors do asphalt and vice versa. So we did receive 3 bids for the paving and 2 bids for the concrete work. And if you look at the sort of the summary here, our total amounts was $65,000. It was a bit more than I had hoped for in this, but that's sort of been par for the course right now. The pricing's really been high on all of our projects, or most of the projects we've been bidding out. So like I said before, we had been planning this for many years, and we actually have accumulated 4 years of funding. 2 years for the 1190 Dealman parcel and 2 years of funding for the 1250 parcel. So the bulk of the project that we bid out is associated with 1190 Dealman. So that's from the fire department to the south side of the intersection with Dealman Industrial. Okay. And then the other piece of it is at the north side of the intersection with Dealman Industrial, which will connect to 1250, which is our next city parcel to the north. It just made a lot of sense to build all these curb ramps at once, even though I don't have the trail paving at 1250 ready yet. I just didn't want to interfere with the intersection more than once. I said, let's sort of build this out. So as I said, it is a little bit more than what we had originally planned for. There is a slight chance that they may allow us to move some funds from 1250 that we had asked for there to 1190. That's not totally finalized out yet with the county, but I'm asking to reserve some funds of our capital improvement to supplement what we have available through the community development block grant. One other item to note, and I don't know if you can open up the curb ramp plan that's in the link, Barb. I just want to bring a note here. And when that opens up, we're going to go to sheet 7. in here. Okay, so if we look at the boxes on here, I identified the different areas of the curb ramps that we're working on. And if you look at the area of item 13 highlighted in blue, that zone actually encroaches on city or St. Louis County right away for Dealman Road. And I really put my blood, sweat, and tears and heart and soul into trying to make an agreement with them so that we could build this whole corner intersection at once. And they sort of ran me through the ringer. And we really put together a specific set of plans just for them. And when they asked for more comments and revisions, I pulled the plug on it. I said, we committed more to this than the curb ramp is worth. So just be aware that that little segment, the area in blue, we will not encroach. We do not have permission or an agreement with St. Louis County to build in their right of way. So we will put up some sort of a, pedestrian marking. We will try to make it as safe as possible. And St. Louis County is just going to have to deal with it when they do Dealman Road. It was really a poor performance of government agencies working together and kind of embarrassing, I got to tell you. So that was just one detail to keep in mind if you see where we're working and say, why didn't we finish that? That's why. It's because it's not our right of way. So I'd be happy to answer any questions if anybody had any.
We have a question.
It's not really a question, it's more of an education. So the rock that I see that you have, done all through that pathway there, you're going to be putting curbs up and before the some.
So the curb ramps are the transitions at the intersections. So that's all concrete. The actual trail will just be asphalt, just like we have on the water right of way. Okay, so it'll just look like a paved road, except it'll be wider than what we have existing. And I did check with Great Rivers Greenway on that best practice too, because I had thought, well, maybe if we cut back the width a little bit. So I posed the question to them, and their recommendation was really to stay with that. If we do get the traffic on the Greenway as historical data supports, I think it'll be a really good conveyor of folks in and out of the heart of all of that.
Entertain a motion.
Mayor, I move that we authorize the city manager to execute a community development block grant contract not to exceed $65,748.50 with Spencer Contracting Company to construct the asphalt trail and curb ramps.
Second.
Okay, are there any questions or discussion at this time?
It's really exciting. I'm very excited about it. I am sorry that you had the issues with St. Louis County. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, it's,
That's it.
All right, we are full council.
Councilmember Carl?
Yes.
Councilmember
Yes.
Baldwin?
Yes.
Councilmember Springer?
Yes.
Chairman Weil?
Yes.
Mayor?
Yes.
Motion passed. Item number 8 is consideration of salt enclosure slab bids.
okay. Good evening once again. So this is for the continuation of our project to build the salt enclosure. And the first part that has to go down is the concrete slab. We put a contract or a bid package out a few weeks ago. And we received, let's see here. We received 3 bids ranging from 26,000 to 46,000, which was really quite a spread. And I was really happy that RV Wagner bid on it and provided what actually a bid that I had in our estimate. I had about $26,000, $27,000 in our project budget, so it was right in line with that. And just to refresh everybody, they did phase 1 of the Dealman Road project, so they're a known entity to us and very qualified to do the work. The bulk of the slab is going to be 6 inches in thickness. Save the center area where you drive into the structure, which is going to be 8 inches thick, because that's going to get the bulk of the heavy traffic when we're loading and unloading salt. The deliveries are coming and we wanted to make a thicker slab in that area. And if you had a chance to look at the pictures, our staff has already worked with preparing the grade for the slab by removing the existing asphalt. We used, again, the same millings from a street project to build up the base and put stone down on top of it and roller compacted it in advance of the RV Wagner work. And that's sort of what I would classify as sweat equity. And happy to answer any questions.
All right, I'd entertain a motion.
Mr. Mayor, I make a motion to authorize the city manager to execute a contract not to exceed $26,510.94 with RV Wagner to construct the salt storage base slab.
I'll second that.
All right, do we
Can I
have,
make one last comment?
yes, please.
I am so happy this is finally coming to fruition. I've heard about the salt thing and the salt thing and the salt thing and the salt thing. 18 years. So I am.
Long
very-
overdue.
I am very happy it's coming to fruition.
Are there any other questions or comments?
Just being 3 years beyond Ruth, absolutely. We've been hearing this our entire career and you have finally gotten your toy. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
And we're protecting the environment better and the
And staff
EPA
and
will be
everything.
very happy with us.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
All right, well, we'll poll the council then.
Councilmember Carl,
Yes.
Councilmember Waldman.
Yes.
Councilmember Springer,
Yes.
Chairman Weil,
Yes.
Mayor.
Yes.
Motion passed.
Thank you.
Item number 9 is hearing from citizens, part 2.
Do we have anyone who would like to make a statement at this time? Seeing none, let's move forward.
Item number 10, review and approval of minutes.
I would like to get a motion to approve the minutes.
Mayor, I move that we accept the minutes of regular meeting dated September the 28th, 2021.
Second.
All right, do we have any questions or corrections? Okay, seeing none, let's poll council.
Yes.
Councilmember Waldman,
Yes.
Councilmember Springer,
Yes.
Chairman Weil,
Yes.
Mayor.
Yes.
Motion passed. Item number 11 is the city attorney's report.
No report, Mayor. No closed session.
What?
You
Mayor.
feeling okay?
Did you get your English?
Mayor, before we adjourn,
Okay,
there's something I would like to share with the council.
you have the floor.
Thank you. Mayor, effective tomorrow at the close of business, October the 13th, I will effectively resign from the city council. And I wanted to share that with all of you tonight. This will be my last meeting with the council. If I may. Thank you. This journey for me started 18 long years ago. We had just moved into the house in 2003. And in early January 2004, I got a phone call from a man with a very gravelly voice. And he said, your builder gave me your phone number and he wants you to come, and I want you to come to a meeting. I was like, who is this? He said, come to our meeting. And I said, well, what's the meeting about? We're going to overthrow the government. I looked at my calendar. I said, I don't have any good government overthrowings this week. I'll come. So I went to this meeting and it turned out it was Larry Gerstein. And, at that meeting, they talked about how they wanted to bring city council, bring government back to a place where it was more approachable, where it was friendlier, where the city was going to move in a very positive direction to be more development friendly again, and to overcome some of the issues that had happened when the TIF in the Northeast Quadrant did not come to fruition. I had an opportunity to meet Jim Bear. I had an opportunity to meet Greg, Larry Koenig too, Morty Burdish. Really the one surprise person that I had an opportunity to meet was Sanford Goldman. And I was like, why is he here? He sits on the planning commission. What? I couldn't quite square that round, but I soon came to find out that he was extremely proud of the city and he wanted it to be a city that moved forward. And I remember him saying to me, he said, I hope you don't misunderstand this. Are you Jewish? I said, well, no, I'm not. My husband is, but we celebrate every holiday. He said, well, then you'll come to my house for Passover. I was like, but I don't know you. But he insisted. And that became a tradition for us with the Goldman family for years afterwards. And I will miss that. So when I met Missy and I met Jim Bear, we worked really hard to get Missy reelected and to get Jim elected. And it was like the apple dumpling gang. It was crazy. Everybody working together though, to get those two people on the city council and to create more of a majority so that development could happen, planning could get to be in a better place, and it could put the city back on a road where it is today. And so that was my first taste of being part of any government entity. I'd never, ever done anything like that before. And when the opportunity came to apply, one of the council members had stepped down in October of 2003. When that opportunity came to apply, I didn't even know what a city council member did, but I was like, yeah, okay, it sounds like a lot of fun. I'll do that. How often do you meet? Oh, we only meet 3 times a month, they told me. Oh, okay, that sounds great. That is the biggest lie we tell each other. We tell everybody moving forward. It was a lot of work, but it was terrific. And for me, the rest is a lot of history, and that you all know. Those who have been involved know. We've had our ups, we've had our downs, we've had our good, our bad, and every place in between. I am very proud of the fact that this council has stayed the course. We set out a vision and we have not strayed from that vision. We have continued to move the city forward. At times it seemed like we were going backwards. At times it seemed like we were standing still. But I think today, when you look out onto Olive Boulevard, you can see, in fact, that we really were moving forward. There have been so many amazing people who have impacted and influenced me these last 18 years. And I am going to name some names, but this is by no means a list of people. And I do apologize in advance if I have omitted anyone. It is not on purpose. Carlos, Paul, Chief Knox, Chief Wolf, Chief Carmen, Bruce, Beverly, Darren, Denise, the entire staff. You guys are the heartbeat of this city. You set the standard for city employees, and you make Olivet shine like a beacon among cities. We are a fabulous city, and I am so, so proud of Olivet. Council, I will miss each of you. We aren't just elected officials who come together on the first, second, and fourth Tuesdays and a lot of other days in between that. We're friends. We have shared the joys and the sadness in each other's lives. I honestly don't know what I'm going to do with my Tuesday evenings. How does one go from this to being uninvolved in one fell swoop? I think I'm gonna have to talk to the chief. He's got it all figured out back there. Maybe there's a 12-step program for elected officials, or maybe rehab is the only answer. I don't know.
Buy yourself a convertible.
I'm gonna buy myself a convertible. That's it. That's the ticket. It will be difficult, and don't be surprised if I don't drop into your meetings via Zoom on an occasional basis.
Your resignation has been accepted.
I'm not done yet.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I was just taking a deep breath. Oh, I'm gonna so miss this.
You're just taking a breath.
Well, Jeff and I are never gonna find another place like Olivet. I know that all of us have at various times referred to this place as Mayberry, but it is Mayberry. I mean, you drive down the street and the police know you. People, you see friends, you can't go anywhere within the city without knowing someone. It truly is Mayberry and in all of the best ways. And there is only one Mayberry. We will not find this again. But no city, even Mayberry, would run without someone at the helm who has the very best interest of the city in their heart. And that's you, Barb. You are a mentor, a role model, and a confidant to me, but mostly you are my friend. I will miss your insight and your counsel, but mostly I will miss your sense of humor. Oh my God, we could laugh at the silliest of things, and that was always so much fun. Council, my work here is done, but there is still much work to be done. Remember your vision for this city, stay true to it. Don't let shiny objects distract you or fall hostage to agendas that will not serve this city today and tomorrow. I will miss all of you more than you will know, but it's time for a new chapter to begin. And for me, it starts tomorrow. Thank you, council. Now I'm done. That might happen anyway, but
I'll wait till she tells me I can do it.
I'm done.
I do it. Your resignation has been accepted, and per the charter of the council, we will appoint a member until the next regular election in April. There's going to be some big ass shoes to fill. Let me tell you that now. Council will be seeking applications for the open seat, but for now, the time is to acknowledge Ruth for all the work she has done for the city. I'm coming.
So Ruth, there's nobody that knows the date and the time frame more than I do. You moved in December 2003, right before Christmas. And we took over the government in 2004 and walked in to Larry and said, I can't do all of it, community connection. I'm running for office. And Big Larry said, Ruth, we need you to lead LCC. So, and that is how he talked.
Yep.
So Ruth, I'm going to take you back. At the beginning of this proclamation, whereas in recognition of Ruth Springer's years of service on the Olivet City Council, whereas Ruth, it began January 16th, 2003. With surely you gentlemen know how to multitask. That Ruth's enthusiasm and commitment to Olivet resulted in being appointed to the Olivet City Council on October 26, 2004. And whereas Ruth subsequently successfully ran for the office of council member 5 times.
I'm glad you realize you can still come on Tuesdays via Zoom, so we'll expect you every week, okay?
Oh, but I'm gonna hide my identity. People will talk.
Whereas Ruth spent over 14 years as an agent of change in Olivet, 5 years as mayor. And whereas during Ruth's tenure, well over 260 million of residential and commercial redevelopment occurred in Olivet, and the city successfully passed 2 bond measures resulting in the construction of a $13 million city center, a $10 million community center, and $6 million of park improvements, And
whereas while serving as mayor in 2020 during the COVID-19 pandemic, Ruth kept the city moving forward while holding only one in-person meeting in the new city center. And whereas because of COVID, we miss Ruth's cookies, cakes, caramels, and pies, all of the out of this world scrumptiously delicious. And whereas Ruth shared her leadership skills regionally serving as the board member and the president of the Missouri Municipal League of Metro St. Louis. And
whereas during Ruth's years of service, she worked tirelessly with the council to grow the Olivet economy, improve the city's infrastructure, and create events with a regional draw. And whereas Ruth's Tuesday nights will now be spent being Yaya to her 3 grandchildren, Andrew, Leo, and Eliana Rose. Today, we celebrate the life that has enriched this community beyond measure. And
Now therefore, we, the council members of the city of Olivet, in recognition of your dedication, passion, and contributions to this city we call Mayberry, we do hereby proclaim October 12th, 2021 as Ruth Sprinter Day. In witness hereof, we signed the proclamation. God bless you. Thank you.
so our gift for Ruth is we decided she didn't need more vases and stuff to take with her. So we had put together a digital frame with pictures and reminiscence and memories from over the last 18 years of your involvement in the city of Olivet that you can put in your home, in your new home.
We should be. Full council?
Since I'm mayor and I have the right to
You
speak
can have-
freely.
You can have all masks off and one called mask off.
Are you pulling more or are you?
That means we release.
Cameraman wants another one. Yeah. Oh, we left it out. And, oh, by the way, the initials will be MD. Yeah, we'll accept that. Yeah.
You know what I'd like to say, I was giving the same Bill Goods too, when I said, you only meet two is the other one. I fell for it.
I fell for it.
But I'll say this, though, I think we learned so much from the people, especially she's the smartest one I've ever worked with. I've learned just being in this council that you can, completely at odds with something and disagree without being disagreed. I've watched the two of these people. It's like, man, we know. Professor X. we're being recorded. It's okay, I'm telling you the truth. I'm speaking from the heart. They're like oil and water. But you gotta have oil and water to make good bread. You know what? And truly, you both, I'm gonna miss you. I miss you like money. Pictures and all of that stuff. And once I can say, I know a lot of people in New York, and now I got a friend. We need Barb in the picture. Yes. You indulge me and have Barb? Yes, you guys,
Why don't we, should we adjourn the meeting?
yes, let's adjourn the meeting.
You can do it for them.
So moved. You get the last slap. Okay.